Hi, so we're Season 1, Episode 4, Living in the Zone with Anna. And today we're talking about root cause. We've been talking about health and living in the zone. And now we're just really want to dig deeper into root causes and, you know, what we can do about that and how that all fits in. So I know you were asking me, you know, how do I see root cause? And, you know, this is my area in, you know, my therapy-based coaching. So, you know, I think that whatever situation we have, whether it's good or bad, there's always this underlying root cause of it, of how we see, how we perceive the situation. And I think that the outcome for any situation, again, whether it be good or bad, really it all starts with us. So, you know, we were talking earlier, and I'll just share with you guys what I was saying to Anna, that, you know, and looking at a really extreme case about, you know, sexual abuse or rape or some kind of trauma that, you know, we'll all agree is horrific, you know, and traumatizing. But, you know, you'll have two people that experience the same similar traumas, and one person will go on and thrive and just really succeed. And you'll have another person that will just spiral into their own kind of misery and dysfunction that can lead to addictions. And you know, and people often will ask, you know, well, what's the difference? Like, how does that happen? And really, how it happens is it's because of our perception. And you talk in earlier episodes about perception and how important that is, which I think is fantastic, because that is it, right? It's, can we take this traumatized situation? One person will say, you know what, that will never happen to me again, ever. And they will go on a journey of personal growth and really work through their stuff and their awareness within their bodies. And another person maybe will just collapse into this victim mode, you know, and there's so many other things, and I don't mean to generalize by any means, but it's just like on a big picture, that's kind of how perception really, and our own internal awareness, you know, speaks to root cause. So, like, and what do you think about that?
I agree with you 100%. And what is shifting our perception? Our environment.
Yes.
Right? Like where you grow up, based on the beliefs people feed you. If they say, well, this is good or this is bad, or if someone, you know, talking about rape, since you started that, if someone said, well, being raped is just, you know, a bad thing, but you can overcome it, and, you know, depending on the parenting and the environment of the situation, that person could say, yeah, it happened to me, I can, like you said, this will never happen to me, you know, and move on. In another situation, if the perception, if the person grew up in an environment where, oh my gosh, this is the end of life, like this is as bad as it gets, like once someone is raped, they never overcome it, like they screw it up for life, right?
Yeah.
When that happens, they literally live that.
Yeah.
Right? They really like show that that's what happens, right? So perception is huge, but again, like your environment, right? Like it's easier to say for us adults, because now we have opportunity to create our environment, or at least be in control of some way of your environment. Where children, you know, who are just born or who are just growing up, who go to school, they have very little to say, because schooling system or family, neighborhood and whatnot, they just like sponges. They just soak it all in, right? They're soaking everything in.
Yeah, I mean, and leading into that, you know, again, root cause, you know, and that as doing like coaching and therapy, we say what happens before the age of 6 or 7, because they're just sponges and they're taking it all in. Yeah, you know, there are certain outcomes that happen because of that. But then once, like, now we're adults and we actually have so much control over what we do. And, you know, you were saying earlier in another episode that things that we can do is kind of control our environment. We can choose who we're gonna hang out with or who we're gonna be mentored by. But I know there's lots of other things we can do as well. And can you like tell us some of the other things that we can do?
Surrounding yourself with people that promote your success, that believe in you, that are happy, that are celebrating you. Because not everyone will be happy for you, right?
Yeah.
When you are succeeding and you're growing, you may make other people look bad, that they're not working hard enough, that they're not succeeding, and how come you're succeeding, right? So creating a very nice, I always look at it, you know, when you want to change something about your life and you're making dramatic changes, think of it as a young tree. When we plant a young tree in the park, often what we'll do, we'll put a tape around it, right? Well, because the dogs will urinate on that tree and the kids will pull the branches, and the tree has very little chances of survival. So often they will put fence around that tree. So it's like, hello, stay away. But as the tree establishes itself in its environment, all of a sudden, when it's stronger, the branches are stiffer, you can climb on it, the dogs can pee on it, like people can just even break a branch, nothing's gonna happen, right?
Yeah.
So that's the creating the environment. If you are here and you wanna go there and you know that's gonna break a lot of belief system even, or like some people may not be happy for you. Now you have to create, like, if I want that leap, I need to create that environment for myself. Maybe I will limit the amount of people I talk to. Maybe the books I read of promoting my success. Maybe the audios I listen, the YouTube videos I watch, or any other videos, documentaries, like that's promoting my growth, and it inspires me and I want to grow more. But today, because it's interesting, like with the root cause, I have been working in my own private practice for over 10 years. And the most important thing, if you really want to change something in your life, you have to change something in your life, right? Like it's important to recognize that you're not going to be doing the same thing, hoping something's going to just shift. Like you have to change. And understanding what the cause is, because the cause is always, like it creates an intention, it creates a ripple effect on your life. So what is the cause? Understanding. The good clue is the cause is often coming from environment and how we perceive it, right? It's like that feedback we were just talking about. And once we understand what the cause is, then doing everything you can to shift it, because sometimes people will come and they say, yeah, I know this is what stresses me out, or this is what's causing me my distress, but they'll be unwilling to actually change the situation. They'll say, hey, do anything you want, but I'm not changing. I have to do this. And what could be that cause? It could be the workplace that they absolutely hate, and it's a very negative environment. It could be negative relationship where they feel abused, taken advantage of, ignored. It could be health situation and so on and so forth. So if you target, okay, well, this is the cause. If I, as an outsider, because it's always easier for the third person to just see the situation because I'm not connected emotionally, right. And it's like a bird's eye view. It's easier for me to like, oh yeah, this and this and that. Where sometimes when we're too zoomed in a situation, it's harder for us to differentiate what is really causing. Maybe everything seems important. Yeah. So when you finally understand what the cause is, making plans to shift it. So if it's a job, maybe like creating a second vehicle where you can riding two horses at the same time, and then like move to the horse that you want to ride on. Or if it's relationship, either getting some kind of counseling landmark, or maybe having the agreement to just leave that relationship. Because with cause, imagine yourself walking barefoot and a big glass gets stuck in your foot, right? In your heel. and you're like, oh, there's a lot of pain in my foot. I gotta do something about it. So you would go to the doctor. Any doctor who sees your foot will say, oh yeah, of course, you have a glass in there. Let's take it out. Let's put some stitches, ointment, Band-Aid, and you're good to go. And that would be the normal case scenario, like take it out so the heel can heal. But now imagine, what if I told you, the person will say, yeah, I know it's the glass. Do whatever you can, like put all the ointments, all the bandages, everything you can, but do not take out the glass. Well, if I say it in this way, you will say, well, that's kind of silly, right? Like, of course you gotta take it out. You're not gonna keep it in there. You're not gonna heal every time you walk. It's gonna get aggravated. But what if I say, well, what if that glass is that negative relationship? What if that glass is a negative habit or workplace that it's not fulfilling your passions, right? So just thinking, like, understanding like what is causing it and what can I do, because we always have a choice. Sometimes the choices will make less money. Sometimes we have to go on welfare. Sometimes we have to be single, and maybe I'll always be single, right, for the rest of my life. And yes, it's a tremendous amount of risk, and sometimes it's uncomfortable and it's scary. But what's better? Like, are you willing to walk with that glass in your foot and hoping that the foot's gonna heal? Or are you just say, hey, enough is enough. I'm taking it out. I gotta do something about it, because that's when the real magic happens. When you make that decision, I'm done with this. I'm moving on. I'm removing it. I'm afraid, but I'm gonna do it anyway. Right? That's when things happen. Yeah.
And, a saying that we always have in therapy is that, comfort and growth are not friends, right? If you want to be somewhere else, you want to make a change, you want to be happier, you want a better relationship, a better workplace, you have to make a change. Like you said, like actually do it, go into action. And that is never comfortable. It's almost always scary or intimidating, or there's a fear factor, whether it's small or big. There's always something to go for. And you've often said about changing frequency, right? So if you're at this frequency and growth is at this frequency, it's going to take some change and discomfort to get there. Yeah.
And in a way, it's liberating. It's scary because people have high mortgages, or if they've been in a relationship for 20, 30 years, they probably own a house together. So if they break up, that means they have to sell the house. So of course, it's not, it's not easy. I'm not saying this is easy, but then you gotta just make a choice, right? Like, nothing is easy. People always say, oh yeah, it should be easy. Well, what's easy really? Yeah. Right? Birthing, is that easy? Or making yourself fit and going to the gym, is that easy? Always being, working out, writing a book, waking at 6 in the morning every day just so I could write that chapter every day. Like, what's easy, right?
Yeah.
Easy is comfort, where
easy is comfort.
You just sit and do nothing, right? But then there's no growth. There is no perpetuation forward if you want to go, right?
Yeah. And I think too, for the viewers, just to take, you said, how do you eat an elephant? And it's like one bite at a time, right? And I think for people to keep in mind, well, think about how you started to do anything. When you first learned to tie your shoes, it wasn't easy. Like, you had to do it over and over and over again. Going for that first interview. Well, I don't know anybody that says like, oh yeah, I'm just going for an interview. Like, no, everyone's like, okay, like, and what should I say? Okay, this question, they might ask us this question, anything we do. And I think it's just that as adults, we forget. We forget that, oh no, we actually had to do all those milestones. You went to university, you had to, do a presentation in front of the class, or anything at work. We just forgot because you get comfortable and you get complacent, but that's not where maybe you want to stay, because honestly, life is about growth, right? And the only time you stop learning is when you're dead. Really, right? Oh,
or you decide not to. Yeah.
Or you decide not to, and you're just like, okay, this is what I'm doing.
I wanted to do the entire episode on comfort.
Oh, okay,
why don't we do the next one on comfort?
Okay,
growth,
yeah,
I think that's going to be really aligned.
Yeah. Do you have anything else to say about root cause?
Well, the action steps that I would like our viewers to take is recognize, what areas, because not everyone is always unhappy in every area. There's always, like maybe one area or maybe two areas. So just recognize, like, where am I struggling, and what am I afraid of? What is causing me this distress? Is it that I'm pressed for time? Is it pressed for finances? Pressed for pretending someone who I am not? Like, what is really happening? And being able to understand, like, this is definitely what's causing me. This is what, depleting my energy, right? Like, I always look at, like, our health, energy is like a balloon, like, where it's nicely, like, tight and blown. And when you have, like, a pipe connecting to this area and that area, and it's, like, depleting you, it's like your energy just gets drained and you feel tired. And that is the cause, like, what's causing you that depletion. Because when you are on passion, when you do what you love, you may have a long day, but you don't feel depleted. You feel appreciated. You feel good. You're tired. Your body went through a lot, but you still feel good. Your energy is not low. So my tip would be, start paying attention. And if you don't know what the cause is, you just completely, it's in your blind spot, you have no idea, look for a professional. Get a coach, psychotherapists, landmark education. There's a lot of professionals that are trained to literally, connect the dots, because sometimes we just cannot do it for ourselves. And that's why we are in this together. You help me with this, I help you with that, and, like, we have that. So when we feel lost, look for help. It's out there.
Yeah, and I really love what you said, because oftentimes it's so true. We can see so clearly for somebody else, but we can't see it for ourselves. That's why, as professionals, we don't just rely on ourselves and our own knowledge we actually seek out other professionals, to help us, because we're so, we're so used to ourselves, and we have all our limiting beliefs and everything going on that, really seeking out a coach is a fantastic way, or some other healthcare professional that you feel comfortable with. So until next time, when we talk about comfort, that's going to be great. Thank you. Hope you enjoyed it, and living in the zone.
Thank you so much.
Thanks. Bye.
Thanks so much for watching. I hope you're getting a great value from our videos. Please subscribe, like, or comment. I do respond to comments. If you have any questions, please do let me know, and I look forward to seeing you in next episodes.